John, how you doing?
Good evening, Terry. I'm fine. How are you, mate?
I'm good, thanks. I had the job today, so good job I'm not playing guitar with the sound.
Which one was that? Was that the one for the coronavirus or the other problem that you got?
Nah, I've just picked my missus. I've just picked it up. I mean, I've just given it a lift in the car.
Oh, right. I'm going to say, hopefully that's the only thing you've picked up today, then.
It is. Last time we were talking, you were #1 in France, weren't you? Your album.
I was, yeah.
How's that going?
I think it suddenly disappeared overnight.
Did it?
I mean, I don't believe it, but apparently I got told it was true. #1 on the singer, songwriter, Americana, French iTunes charts.
Yeah.
Just ignore the wife. I told her that I was on that last thing, you know.
You just picked it up as well.
Yeah. Yeah, you better do, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I just got an email from the record label saying their distributors had said it was #1 on the iTunes charts in France.
Yeah.
I can't, you know what I mean?
It sounds legit though. I mean, I know people who've they've written books, and what they've done like a special offer. They put it up for free on the Kindle version on Amazon, and for some odd reason, even if it's just for one split second, it hits #1 in the charts because it's free. The millions of people are getting this free copy, but they can legitimately put it then on the cover of their book, #1 Amazon bestseller. Because it was for that split second. So a moment in time, it's legit.
Yeah, I done it as a joke. Yeah. But Spotify, I've been trying to encourage people to listen to me on Spotify, because even though it doesn't pay anything in terms of royalties, it pays nothing.
Yeah.
Or next to nothing. It's like 0.00000 penny of every play or something like that.
Yeah.
What happens is when you're looking for gigs or you want to sort of try and go to festivals, one of the things they want to know is how many Spotify listeners you've got.
Oh, okay.
So it seems daft in some respects, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to gear people into a format where they're not paying for your music.
Yeah.
They're going to get it for nothing.
Yeah.
Because you're hoping that enough people will then play it.
Yeah.
And your numbers will go up.
Yeah.
So I get the Spotify sort of thing every month, and it told me that most of my plays at the moment are from Germany.
Are they? Yeah.
Yeah, I've by far some place in Germany. I don't know whether if it went there, I might end up sort of being able to play there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how it all works, to be honest.
What's that fella about the magic car, the kit car? What was it, Knight Rider? Is it Knight Rider?
I don't know.
The American fella, he was a big pop singer, wasn't he, in Germany? Yeah, I'm sure it was Knight Rider.
Oh, yeah, David Hasselberg.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, the guy, Baywatch guy.
Baywatch,
well.
Yeah, that's him, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, German, I mean, I haven't, I've never been to Germany, but I remember, I haven't told anyone this actually, I worked in a tax office, and I was on the inquiry desk where people from the street would come in if they needed help with the tax problems, or
James Street.
Help fill in the tax returns. Yeah, James Street. Yeah, exactly. And this guy came in, Dave. Oh, was it Dave Gaskell? His name, Dave Gaskell, and he was a Liverpool singer in the '60s, and he got into the charts with a song called "Dear Mrs. Appleby," I think it was called. And to cut a long story short again, what happened was I said, I write songs. I used to be in a band. And I sent him some stuff, and he picked one out, which was completely the one that I would never pick up myself. And I said, why are you picking that one? I said, it's the kind of thing that they'd love in Germany.
Yeah.
He's big in Germany. He wanted to do a version of it for the German market.
Yeah.
But we never got around to doing it. One thing after another,
Yeah. So the Beatles started off, isn't it, Hamburg? The 2 years with the lanes.
Yeah, Hamburg. Yeah, it's. I mean, there's not many places left. It's all touristy. Like it's like going to Matthew Street. If you're looking for the cavern, it's not there. There's a cavern there, but it's not the original one. It's up the road. Yeah,
the Wise Council demolished it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
No.
Nine. I've been doing it every Tuesday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. I can't even speak bleeding English, never mind German. But German lessons online, 4 of us. And
I love Germany though, I've got to say. I've been to Berlin a few times, and I've been to Hamburg, and I've been to Freiburg,
yeah.
As well. I've always enjoyed it when I've gone.
I've never been. I'd love to go.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be hard going these days, isn't it? With the
yeah, just a bit. I was going to ask you then. You've been involved in some local radio stations. I mean, is that your own show, or are you going on as a guest, or are you chatting to people?
No, I've got my own radio program.
Yeah.
About 2.5 years ago, I was a guest for some radio broadcaster.
Yeah.
And he basically asked me. He was doing it on his own. He said after the show I'd done, because I probably spoke, quite a bit. He said, "Do you fancy doing it with me?" And I thought, "Oh, great!" I just happened to be reading Bob Harris's autobiography.
Oh yeah.
I had it on me as well.
Yeah.
And I said, "I can't believe you're asking me to do this because I'm reading about this, this broadcaster that I really, really love." And
Whispering Bob.
I was thinking as I'm reading about, wouldn't it be great to be, a broadcaster and playing records? I mean, I've always, when people come round to my house, when I lived with my mum and dad, lived in Tubrook near all my mates.
Over the road from where I am, yeah.
Round, and I'd always be playing stuff, and there was a bit of a funny joke with me about, just one more. I'd always have one more record to play, and my mum would, my dad's mum, my mum would say, "Oh, let those lads go home. They've got to get the last bus." Or my mum and dad would be in bed knocking down because it was too loud. So I always wanted to be, I always loved playing records for people, recommending things. And when this guy Ian Boyle asked me to co-present, it was great. So we did it up to last year, and then it got a bit much because what happened was we started off with just an hour, and then we got 3 hours. And which was great, and I was working it in such a way because it was an Americana blues country folk show. I'd get in touch with all the people that were sort of getting reviewed, new releases, and I'd say, we got this radio show, if you want to send us some stuff, and I'd do an email, and I was getting, God, I must have been getting about 30 or 40 letters a week. Emails a week, with stuff, and it was just getting that side of it, the writing, replying, setting up the show, and all that. It just got too much. It was just taking too much of time, and as much as I love doing it, I've got a part-time job. I want to do my music. So we basically said, it was getting a bit too much, really. So I asked the fella that runs the station, and I also had an hour show pre-recorded, which was going to be like a singer-songwriter thing, or under the radar. So that's my show now. I've got an hour, so it's beginning to sort of, again, I'm still getting loads of people sending me stuff, which is great because that's the whole idea. I mean, I do it myself. I send stuff to radio stations around the country, hoping that they'll play my songs. So I feel obliged to not have any sort of judgment on what I'm getting, because who am I to say that it's a good song or a bad song? Everyone's got a different taste. So I try and put everything in that I get sent.
Sounds like good karma, isn't it? Your influence, and you're helping out. And
well, it's been great.
What's the show called, John? And what's the channel and things?
It's called the Garden Party.
The Garden Party.
It's called the Garden Party.
Yeah.
And it's on Vintage Radio in Birkenhead. So it's an internet community radio station. But what I do is I pre-record it, and it'll go out between 9 and 10 on a Friday. And then on the Saturday, 99% of the time, I put it on a podcast on Mixcloud. Now, it used to go on Anchor on a podcast. And I used to get loads of people listening to it. And then suddenly they took everything off and said, you're not supposed to be playing music on Anchor. And I couldn't get my head around that. And I wrote to them and I said, well, what about all my programs? Can I have them back? And I didn't get a reply.
What was that a license thing, was it? Did they have to pay for royalties or something?
Well, no, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know the ins and outs of it anyway. But it was a platform where a few people have been using it for putting their radio shows on as a podcast after it's gone out live on air. Because not everyone can listen to a program as it's like TV, isn't it now? You know, there's
that many channels.
There's that many channels and there's that many things on that, you know, do many people watch it in real time. You know, I know what I do is if I'm watching a TV series, I don't watch it as it's coming on live. I sort of wait till like the 6 episodes have been broadcast, and then I'll binge watch, you know.
I do the same with Netflix.
So,
I can't be bothered waiting a week for a new episode of something to come out. I think it was Game of Thrones.
I mean, I've got enough. There's enough stuff on there, you know. So I'd rather just watch it like as if I got a DVD. I mean, I still buy DVDs anyway, so you know. But so it goes out every week. Garden Party. The Garden Party. The name. I used to have a fanzine in the 80s, and I used to interview local bands in the 80s, and it used to come out about once every 6 or 7 weeks over 2 years. So we interviewed all kinds of people, like Frankie Goes to Hollywood, and you know, Personal Column, and Come in Tokyo, and Eskelworks, The Farm, Luke the Books.
Elvis Costello, did you have some? Did we on a like backing band for him back in the 80s?
Oh, that was when I was in the band Come in Tokyo. I wrote to Elvis Costello's management company and asked any chance of a support, you know, not thinking we get it. And we got it.
If you don't ask.
And then we never nearly got it, because what happened was we had another gig lined up in the same month, about a week later, at Pickwick's. Remember Pickwick's? The
nightclub, off London Road. I worked there. That's that, back in the early 70s,
Oh, right, okay. Well, this is 1982. And we got all these massive big posters made up. And we went around town, posted them up. Now, we didn't know the etiquette about posting posters.
Bill posting.
So, you know, we knew it wasn't, you weren't supposed to do it. But I didn't realise, or we didn't realise, that you're not supposed to post over something that hasn't happened. So we posted our posters all over Ozzy Osbourne's posters. It was on the night before Elvis Costello.
Black Sabbath.
So the Royal Court were absolutely livid. And the man from the Royal Court came down to see me and basically said, we're going to, you know, we're not going to let you support Elvis Costello.
What?
And I said, we said, but it wasn't us.
It was him.
We give the posters to some bloke who puts the posters around town. They must have done it. So the night before the gig, we saw this guy, and he took us into the Royal Court and let us watch the end of the Ozzy Osbourne show. He must have believed us.
So let's go past the statute of limitations is over with that, I think. So you get away with it.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, we wouldn't have done it if we'd known that you weren't supposed to do that. But we were young. It was a young band, and we didn't know. We thought that you weren't allowed to do it. You know, because you hear that thing that Bill posters will be prosecuted.
He got 6 months. You know? But you think so? Sometimes it's something like, I'm thinking like Frankie Goes to Hollywood. He was banned, wasn't he, on the Top of the Pops? You know, suddenly become #1. You know, he wasn't banned on Top of the Pop, banned on Radio 1, I think it was. One of the DJs took offence at the lyrics.
Mike Reed, believe it or not, he wouldn't play it he complained because it was rude. They didn't at that time get it played on the radio, but they still got to #1.
Joe, I remember that they were #1, but they wouldn't play them on Top of the Pops. But I remember the Christmas special that year, and they said, we banned them all year, but so it's Christmas, here they are. And they were there live playing.
Yeah, well, it was just the one song. It was just Relax, wasn't it? There was the song. The next song,
Two Tribes, was it?
Two Tribes, That, you know, that wasn't offensive at all. So the video of that one was on Top of the Pops, and it was on MTV and all that, you know. Then The Power of Love, you know.
Yeah, Reagan wasn't fighting with Brezhnev, I think. You know, these two, let them fight each other rather than, you know, the world.
Yeah, the old days of videos.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of Mike Reed, I actually went to a songwriting retreat a couple of years ago. Chris Stifford, and you get paired with people, and I got paired with Mike Reid to write a song with him.
What? I didn't know he was a musician or anything like that.
Oh yeah, he's written songs for
Is he?
people like Cliff Richard and David Essex. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Mike Reid, the DJ. Yeah, the radio. What?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the same. Yeah. Sorry, I'll shut up. Okay.
No, I'll send you the video of it of singing this. What happened was went in like, and normally you start from scratch, but he had an idea and he just needed a finishing off, so I just helped him finish it off.
Yeah.
So I've written a song with Mike Reid from the BBC.
Brilliant. He hasn't banned it, has he?
No.
Hey, do you think we need something like Top of the Pops? It was easy them days, wasn't it? You sold so many records. There wasn't any Spotify or Amazon charts or whatever else. It was, the whole
music business has completely changed beyond recognition to when I was growing up. I don't listen to Radio 1. I don't listen to Radio 2 either. In all honesty, it seems to be run by the charts are owned by people like Simon Cowell. It just seems to be the same old formula. Formulas. I love the fact that, when I was younger and collecting records, there's not, you couldn't be going out to the shop and buying a 7-inch single or buying an LP. Kids don't have that now. I know vinyl's supposed to be making a comeback, but I don't think it's going to ever be the same. And then if you watch Top of the Pops, which was a reflection of what was in the charts, you could watch one program which was about 40 minutes long, and you could have like a reggae act. You could have, you could have Madness on it. You could have, Desmond Decker, and then you could have a punk act like the Damned on it, and then you could have ABBA on it, or someone comedic on it, Benny Hill or whatever. It didn't always be the same kind of music. It was so variant. Now you wouldn't get that in the charts now. All those things just wouldn't happen.
It's formulaic, isn't it, I suppose?
Yeah, they're all written to it. We talked about Adele's single on that Jukebox Jury, which is going out on this Friday, and she's just she's got a big fan base. She's got 330 million streams on one song alone. Now that's probably nearly everyone in the world, has played this Adele song. But we listened to it and we thought, what? Does it warrant that many? It's all right. It's nice. But it just sounds like she's got her own formula. It's like starts off quiet and it builds up, and then it sort of follows the same thing. There's nothing there the words. Trice,
Look, different taste. You mentioned Simon Cowell. Have you ever thought of going on to one of these talent things, Britain's Got Talent, X Factor? And they seem to have short-term success, the people on it. I can think of maybe a handful of names. I know Will Young, top of my head, I can't think of everybody else who's come off that. But you've had a long background in music. You ever thought of just doing that to become like a national name?
No.
If you know what I mean? No? No interest at all? No.
Well, besides the fact that no one would have me anyway, I wouldn't, I wouldn't put myself in a position where I'm trying to be sort of manufactured into something that I wasn't,
I suppose,
I remember buying an album, a country music album from some American artist, young girl, Lauren, what's her name? Laura Massetti, I think her name is. She's got like an Italian surname. And it was like voted, I get Country Music People magazine, and they voted it the best album of the month. It was the album of the month. And I listened to it on Spotify and it sounded great, and I bought it. And I just thought, I'll just check it out, And she was on the American version of The Voice. I didn't know that. But there's a clip of it where she says, I'm going to sing one of my own songs. And they all go, you can't do that,
Hasn't been manufactured. Hasn't gone through a sausage making machine.
Like, and she said, yeah, I'm going to play one of my own songs. And everyone loved it. And it was good on her, for doing that. And, it just sounded like,
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Really good.
I haven't watched it for years. I think it was Will Young, wasn't it? Last time I watched one of them things.
Yeah, that's the only time I ever saw it. I think that was the very first one, wasn't
I
it?
think it was actually. Was it? It may not have been called the X Factor, whatever it was. The beginning, the first series of it was, but it's got tired on it. The routine. I think there can only be that many great singers, you know, in the UK, and they're all turning up. Talking about your music, anyway. Yeah, one of your videos that you put out, Moon and June, that made me dizzy looking at the video. All these, you know, dropping down and coming out the sky and things, and up and down. I suffer from terrible vertigo. What was it? A long way to fall. Can you watch it okay without feeling dizzy?
Well, I had to. I actually made it myself. The video. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't a single or nothing like that. I just I put 3 singles out from the new album, and what happens is you sort of they haven't got that longer shelf life, so to keep the album in people's hopefully in people's sort of vision, or people still think about it. I was trying to think of ways what to do, you know. I thought, well, I'll just do a video of one of the songs. I'll just mess around, and there's what you can do if anyone else is, you know, watching this or listening to this, who's a musician. There's a thing called Pixels. I think it's called Pixels.
Oh yeah.
And it's all free. It's all video clips that are free, and you can download them, and you can then put your own music to it. But I used that, and I got some stuff from YouTube, which I quite like, that fitted in. Just little clips, and it just took me a few weeks to put together, really. But it was fun doing it. Time consuming, fun to do it.
I enjoyed it. Well, I didn't look at it. I enjoyed the music. I turned the screen off so that I'm not falling. Yeah,
but that girl. There's a clip of the girl, isn't it, where she's like sort of leaning back. And someone's holding her hand. I don't know if it's real or what, you know. But
well, you can do it with green screens, can't you?
She's a silly girl, I'll tell you that now.
Just a bit, yeah. What's happened with Fret Store Records? Has it changed what you're doing? Your life as a musician? Are they doing the digging for you? Are they doing marketing and getting you out and about?
Well, they have been, but again, it's like the album came out at the beginning of August, so all
6
the
months
pushing that they've done was before the album came out, around the time the album came out, and now what happens is most, you know, media in terms of magazines or, you know, websites that review albums or something like that, they always really want to do it before the album comes out, and an album comes out. So you won't get many albums reviewed after the release date.
Okay.
So I've had a couple after the release date, but in the main they've been before or around the release date. So there's only so much they can do. Around the time, I got loads of sort of hints on what to do. There's a guy at the company called Brendan, who's really, you know, he's a lovely bloke, but he was great. He sort of sent me emails and said, you know, just cut and paste this and put this on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook with all these links and stuff like that. And gig at the end of the week. So that's taking.
I was going to ask you about that. Yeah, that's in where is that? 3rd of December, Thornton Hall.
Yeah, this Friday. Yeah. Thornton Huff. Yeah.
John and the James Street Band.
John Jenkins and the James Street Band. Yeah.
Brilliant. And you've got a live Facebook one coming up as well, haven't you? And Friday, 10th of December, you and Pippa.
Yeah.
How do you prepare for that? I know that with your band, I can imagine it'd be easy. You've got people around you supporting you. My nerves be gone doing a live show.
Well, I find it better doing it with the band than doing it on my own, because what happens is you sort of, you know, that not everyone's going to be just looking at you, and if you make a mistake, you know, if 5 people don't make the mistake at the same time, you can probably get away with it. You know? If you're doing it and it's just you, then it's hard to, you know, you have to own up, I suspect. But, you know, when I do the band gigs, the songs are quite up-tempo. Words are still visible, because I don't write anything other than visible songs. But they're up-tempo.
So people get up and dance, are they, as you perform, as the band's playing? Are they standing and listening?
Yeah. They listen.
Yeah.
I'm not a dance band.
Yeah.
I mean, they tap the feet.
Yeah.
You know, or clap their hands. So or sing along. You know, they can sing along.
Yeah.
So yeah, the band's got gigs really, completely different from when I do my gigs with Pippa, because that's sort of low key.
Yeah.
Obviously, just being two of us. It's not a big sound.
Yeah.
So I do different sets of songs. It's quite nice having a choice of, having two different kind of sets, really.
Yeah.
But it can be, I suppose, it can be a bit confusing. If you're trying to if you want to get a gig, I'm thinking which, you have to weigh up how big the place is. Is it a band place, or is it just a duo place, or what?
Yeah.
So So how to prepare for it? I mean, we've been rehearsing. We've got a rehearsal tomorrow night. I've been rehearsing. There's going to be 4 songs in the set that we've never played before.
Oh yeah.
In
your house, are you doing this, John? You're doing this at home?
I have a little music room. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We just do it sort of music, low key in terms of, we don't have a big drum kit set up. Dave will play the con. But before he comes in and the bass player comes in, we go over the songs with Dave on percussion and harmonica, and Dennis on guitar, and just sort of get the skeleton of the song, sorted out before they come in and add their little bits,
I've seen clips of them on your website, from previous ones you've done live, and they've been absolutely superb.
Yeah, thanks. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Do you get people commenting, like in live time, saying, "Oh yeah, well done, I enjoyed this, play this one"?
Yeah, we people that come to see us. I'm saying this now as if this is going to happen on Friday. It's probably gone horribly long now.
No, but touch wood somewhere. Yeah. Do you fancy playing one of your songs?
Yeah, I've got my guitar out.
Yeah. Have you anything in mind? Anything that's springs?
Yeah, I'll do one that I don't normally play.
Okay.
It's on the new album.
Yeah.
But because I've been generally now when I'm playing live, 99% of the time it's with Pippa.
Yeah.
Some songs she hasn't learned, or I haven't played it with her.
Okay. So
this one I normally play it on my own. It's called The End of Summer.
Okay.
Sorry. I don't want to live forever, but it would be nice to have some more time. Do those things I always wanted to. Leave this world with a smile. And I don't know if we get a second chance. Each day could be the last dance. Is it the end? The end of summer. Is it the end of a beautiful day? My life's been full of memories, and it makes me sad. One day they'll all be gone, and I don't know if we'll ever meet again. All I know, I'm so proud I was your friend. Is it the end? The end of summer. of a beautiful day. Two lovers walking in the rain, children laughing, innocently playing. The whole world, each and every one, will be sad when it's gone. Is it the end? The end of summer? Is it the end of a beautiful day?
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Do you know what that put me in mind of? A Jerry Martin song, Don't Let the Sun Go Down. Don't let the
Don't let the sun catch you crying.
Don't let the sun catch you crying. That's it. Yeah, I don't know what put me in that mood, or that sort of melody.
I can see where you're coming from. Yeah.
That's got a relaxing song. You know something about your music? This is going to sound patronising, but I said it to you last time. It's true. After hearing a couple of times some of the songs, something clicks into place, and you think, yeah, I get you. That's I really. It brings out the enjoyment. I don't know, the sort of the depth.
Yeah.
I'm not very good at describing music.
No, you're very kind saying that. You know, I suppose as a songwriter, you want people to get that the first time they hear it.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think I go and watch films, and I don't like them. Not that I dislike them the first time round. Like, I don't know. Like, I took my son to see Gladiator years ago, and he was saying this is one of the best films I've ever seen. I was saying it's awful, CGI graphics. That tiger's not real. And I watched it again the second and third time. I thought, what did I miss the first time? I don't know. It's just me. Something I have to repeat something before it sinks in with me.
Yeah, I mean, I find that a lot with music. To be honest, you know, I'll play a CD or an LP a lot of times before I sort of comment on it, or you know, sort of give it a chance because if you just do it on one play, you know, it's a lot to take in, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. I can count on the fingers of one hand. I think that the number of records or music that I've heard and I've liked first time, I thought, wow, play that again. It's rare.
Yeah.
On the music, are you working on the new album then?
No, I'm not. Where I'm at the moment, I'm in between. I've got this band gig lined up for Friday.
Yeah.
I've got the live stream the week after.
Yeah, Facebook.
I've got a date in February for a local gig.
Yeah.
And that's it at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm still writing, and I'm going to apply for some funding.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping that at some point I might get it.
Yeah.
And then when I do get it, we'll record another album, and I'll sort out another tour.
You've had a long year, haven't you? You've been around the world this year, haven't you? What, February? You was in Nashville. You were there in what was it? The cafe bar in Nashville. I'm looking at my notes. I can't see it. Oh, what's happening with this? The GSMC Awards. You nominated.
Grange Steel Music.
Yeah.
Collect Club.
Yeah.
He's online. He's the guy who does the online thing.
Oh,
he
yeah.
Does, I mean, he's done it. The online gigs.
Yeah. He promotes them, does he? Yeah.
Yeah, and he I think he lives by Sandhurst.
Oh. Yeah.
He puts bands on, singers, songwriters on at venues around that area. Yeah. But obviously with COVID, not many people were putting gigs on.
Yeah.
At the time. So that's what he does. So
the vote opens the 5th of December for that, doesn't it? I think you can vote online for that, can't you?
Oh yeah. Oh, the nomination. Yeah. I was really taken back by that. As the newcomer being 62, you know.
Would you see that? Did you watch the Paul McCartney and newcomer on the? It's on the BBC last week. I think his show was recorded about 2 years ago, performing on the Cabin. He was in his mid-80s, and he sounds great. You know, he'd win the newcomer award, I think.
Well, I mean, you know, the newcomer can mean something else. I mean, if you're not known to people, then and you're new to people, then that's what it is. I mean, I always thought, you know, newcomer was someone that just sort of, I just started off really, but it could mean obviously more. But yeah, I'm absolutely overjoyed, really. You know, you know, I'm not going to get anything. No one's going to vote for me.
Well, if they do, and if you won it, would it be a big turning point?
Well, it looks great on the CV, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I can put it on my CV now that I've been nominated. I mean, I've been nominated for a few Best Song of the Years and stuff like that for radio stations in the past. And I've also, you know, I've won the Songwriting Challenge and been in the final a few times. So, you know, I've been recognised a couple of times. But, you know, it's all, you know, there's that many different ones, isn't it? I don't want to sort of sound disrespectful to any of them in any way. But, you know, it's, you know, you want people, the success I want is I want people to sort of come to the gigs, you know. I want to be able to put something else that people will buy, might get in the charts, and or something where if I'll get invited to festivals rather than me writing to them, they write to me, and tours. I'm have an audience, you know. That's successful for me.
Is that your most loved thing, actually playing live in front of people rather than recording and the writing? Is that what you live for the music, for the performance?
I enjoy playing live. I still have to pinch myself because I never expected to be doing it for two reasons. One was I was never the singer. So when I was sort of in bands in the 80s, I wrote, but other people sang my songs. And right up to 2015, it never occurred to me that I could actually, it sounds awful saying get away with it, but I could never play in front of an audience and people would turn around and say, oh, they enjoyed it, you know, and they like what I'd done, and they thought I was okay. So I still have to pinch myself for that side of things. I love writing because, as you a writer yourself, you know, these things one day aren't there, and then given a little bit of time, they exist, and it's like that is a magical thing, you know.
It's a compulsion for some people.
Yeah, where it comes from and where and refining it and working on it. That's the hard part. Is sort of, you know, spending the time, you know, sort of, you know, you might have a line and you think, you know, and you might take weeks just to get a better line, you know, or or sometimes you know, for me, I don't know what the song's going to be about until I'm sort of like being at it for a little bit of time. Or then again, some songs can come straight away, you know. I love the recording side of it. I don't love the money it costs because it's really expensive. And you know, that sounds disrespectful to the guy who owns the studio. But you know, it's you know, he's got a living to make, and he does what he does.
Pays bills.
But it's yeah, I mean, you know, to record, I always do about 30. I always do more songs than I need on an album, and I always take a lot longer than most people do. And I always invite other people on, session people, and I pay them. So it's an expensive process. It's expensive money-wise, and it's a process that takes a bit of time. But again, I love, you know, the idea of having me write a song and having an idea in my head what I want it to sound like, and then the end thing where when you listen to it after you've gone through changes of whether you want it to be the idea that you had, or someone might, or you might have another idea, you're not sure. You go that way or this way or that way. Yeah, you know, and what you end up with is always surprised as well, you know. Well, it's true. You know, I started writing songs in the 70s at home on a piano that was in the parlor in our house, and I you know, I written over 100 songs, and I treat them as like an apprenticeship kind of thing. And then I joined a band who were like doing indie music, and it was completely different from my Gilbert O'Sullivan, Paul McCartney kind of songs that I was writing. And it sort of toughened me up a little bit. And I was getting to know different kind of music. So all those songs, you know, became an embarrassment really to me. I would never play them to anyone now. But I think you've got to go through that to sort of be where you are now, you know. No, it's if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't appreciate what I'm doing now as much.
Yeah, it's the natural process, isn't it? You know, as you're building up your experience. Have you still got them tucked away in a drawer under your bed somewhere?
I've got cassettes of them. I mean, I need to do this more often, but basically, I occasionally I sort of dig out one of the cassettes, and listen to it. And Behave Yourself when I'm about 17 or 18.
Yeah, cringe, do
you? Yes and no, because sometimes I'm waiting to hear me playing a song on the piano and someone in the family coming in and talking.
Oh, yeah.
You know, who isn't here anymore, you know.
Yeah, it's a brilliant memory, that, isn't it?
But, you know, it can, there's a funny story about that. I got a mate who passed away in 2016. And I remember he used to come round to ours. I remember us singing I Should Have Known Better by the Beatles.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I should have known better with a girl like you. So I dug it out on the night before his funeral to play to Lynn. And I left the cassette on, and the next song that came up, I kind of remembered. I thought, you know what, I never ever finished that song off, you know. So I basically got the guitar out and sort of finished the music off, and then I went on a little trip to Bordeaux. My mate George was supposed to go on that with a few of the lads and Lynn, and I finished the lyrics off. So I recorded it in the studio. It sounded like a 50s kind of song. I called it It's Raining. Went in the studio, recorded it, got Amy from Two Black Sheep to do a duet version with me. So it was a nice duet. I got my mate Mark to do all these sort of Beach Boy Drifters kind of background vocals on it. Sounded great. Put it on the album. Radio stations played it. And about 18 months after it came out, I'm in a pub with my mate John Asbridge, and his mate was there who I'd never met before, and his name was George, by the way. And John was saying, John writes songs, you know. George is a 50s fan. John's written some kind of 50s songs. So he said, I'll have a listen. So I played on John's phone, played the song It's Raining, and he listened to it, and he said, have you ever heard the Darts song It's Raining?
Darts, yeah.
And I listened to it, and then the penny dropped. So going back in time, the idea that I thought was me just working on a song idea was me trying to learn the Darts version. The Darts song It's Raining. So I basically thought I'd written it, but someone else had written that song. But I only had the beginning of it. So the beginning's exactly the same as the Darts version. And the rest of the song goes completely different from their version. And I've rewritten it. I got so embarrassed, you know.
That sounds like something you do in a dream.
Yeah, everyone was really pulling me leg, you know, over it and saying, you know, but the thing is, people have been playing it on the radio and no one had picked up on it, you know, and said, oh, this is the Darts, you know. I had to go in touch with PRS and tell them to change the credits and put an apology on my website and all kinds of stuff, you know. People that have been playing it, I got in touch with them and said, you know, I explained the story to them that I've been, you know, down, it's raining on me. You know, you'll have to listen to both versions.
I've just loaded it now on YouTube. I'll play that when we finished. I'm thinking, they like the vocal band with the vocal harmony. They sang "Only You."
Yeah.
It was like their biggest song. Only
Oh
You.
No, that's another one. No, they sang "Daddy Cool," the Darts.
Very cool.
But they did have the drain pipes and the
yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
But it's raining. Actually got it. I think I got in the top 30 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually got it. It's on a record, you know.
Yeah.
So I obviously haven't played it since the end of the 70s.
Yeah.
Or heard it since the end of the 70s. I thought it was one of my ideas.
Yeah.
It was just me on the guitar, you know, playing it. And I thought, oh, I kind of remember it going, I never finished that song off.
Yeah.
Thinking it was me that put that there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
You need to blow the dust off a few others maybe and update them, get them on.
Well, you know, when I blow my own trumpet, have a listen to the dance version. Have a listen to mine. I think mine's a bit better, you know. I think the arrangement's much better.
I'm going to dig them up on YouTube. John, I think time's caught up with us. I think.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that. I'm surprised him has let me stay on for so long. Normally he says, "Hey, get lost, you're off." I'm glad both. Well, my audio's working okay. I've heard you fine this time. But let's keep in touch anyway, John. And really enjoyed chatting with you again and listening to you.
Yeah, Terry. Yeah, let's do. Yeah. And when we can get out for a pint, we'll have a pint.
Definitely, yeah. And I'll make sure I'm not working or I'm not skiving from work, so I can stay out a bit later.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, John. Well, you take care, mate. And I'll speak to you soon.
In the family, yeah. All right.
Yeah, we'll do. Same to you. Cheers, John. Thanks, mate.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye now. Bye.